JKB back with another episode. Today I'm reviewing Puyo Puyo Tetris for the Nintendo Switch. Thank you to my own bank account for supplying the review copy. Let's get into this game. This is a game that a lot of people definitely want to play, but who in their right mind, in Canada at least, wants to pay $54.99 for an actual physical copy of the game when it's only $39.99 on the eShop. So that's the way I went there. I'm never going to buy a physical copy of any of the Switch games if they're this expensive, of course, maybe Legend of Zelda, but other than that, why would you do that? So right off the bat, that's kind of an interesting thing, you know. It could go either way because some people are like, well, the digital copy should be cheaper, and some people are like, well, it should be the same. And what do you guys think? Comment below if you think it should be the same price. And here's another thing. $39.99 in Canada, of course, so do your own translation of fucking funds. But in Canada, $39 on the eShop, and physical copy on PS4 is $39 as well. So why in the hell is it $15 more for Nintendo Switch? You know, people were saying that the carts were going to be roughly the same price as a disc, but, you know, I digress here. Who gives a shit about that stuff? I bought it cheaper. That's what I did. This is a game that I played until 3 a.m. last night. I've been playing it since I got it when I was available on the eShop. I'm absolutely in love with it. Now, half of the game is based on a Japanese game called Puyo Puyo, which involves droplets of goo or something that drop down, and you have to combine 4 of them in any which way that you can possibly do. Tetris we all know and love. So you put these things together and you assume, okay, let's see how this goes. Half of it's going to be spectacular because I'm in love with Tetris. The other half is going to be new and unusual and I don't quite understand it. And at this point in the review here, I'm going to say I still, to a certain degree, I have a grasp of what Puyo Puyo is, but it's a totally different game than Tetris. Now, what they've done here is decided to do a crazy amount of work where they've taken Tetris, which you can play all on your own. They've taken Puyo Puyo, which you can do all on your own, but they've decided to also do a mixture on the same board of both games with no real tutorials at the beginning. I mean, yes, there's a lesson option in here, but let's be realistic here. They should have done something a little bit more to help me understand what the fuck I'm looking at on screen. So I'm playing Tetris last night online. It disconnected a few times, so that's not really the end of the world. I played about 47 matches in a row. I'm currently 39th in all of Ontario, or Canada, I should say. I'm actually pretty good at the game, so if you want to add me onto my Nintendo Switch so we can play this together, if you've got it, I'll put my thing in the underbar. You can add me that way. But I'm going to say this game really is something that is a little unique. I mean, you take both those things, put them together, but when you have 2 different puzzle games on one disc or one download in one game, you can do some unique things with this. They've introduced a story mode, which is completely Japanese, a lot of text, a lot of kooky, zany characters with weird dialogue that some people are going to look at and be like, this is total fluff, total filler, why is this even here? The main campaign of the game is really to teach you how to play the game. I highly suggest to go through that. We'll move on to how many different modes are in this game. So many different things can be had. Like if you sit back and think, okay, what can you do that's going to be a different mode than the usual Tetris or Puyo Puyo? What can you do? You put them together. That's one thing. You can introduce items into it. That's another thing. So things like bombs and like shields and all sorts of things to attack each other. Because remember, this is really, let's be realistic here, this is a 2-player game. This is designed to be played online or played with somebody right next to you. And on the Switch, you do that. You just pop the Joy-Cons off, you hand them over. It plays amazing on this. Obviously, it's not going to be really pushing the graphics of the system because it is very basic, but the point here is, for $39, this is basically a must-own if you're a fan of Tetris, because it just works. There's nothing, you know, spectacular about it that's going to blow you away until you get into the different modes where you start to see that there's a different level of depth to it. It's not just Tetris, not just Puyo Puyo. It's a whole slew of things, which I'm not going to even list here. There's a lot of them. Definitely go check out more information about the game if you're really interested in buying it. I'm going to say, huge fans of Tetris. It's a kind of a steep entry point to play Tetris on your Switch, but it's kind of a must-do thing if you're a fan of Tetris. The Puyo Puyo aspect is just this add-on that's kind of cool to realize. You know, you kind of understanding how it works, but the further you get into it, yeah, you start to get it. Okay, I get it. I'm going to move these sludge balls around and they're going to connect, and I'm getting it. It's like Tetris, it's different. So that's definitely a plus. A negative in this game, though, you know, when you're playing a game of Tetris online, you remember battle mode back in the day where you get a Tetris and it would send all of those extra blocks over to your partner's screen, or your opponent's screen, I should say, and that would kind of screw them over and push their terminos up. In this game, you can play Puyo Puyo or Tetris, so you never know if you're going to be facing somebody with Tetris or Puyo Puyo. The reason I bring that up is, in Puyo Puyo, it's so much easier to get chains and combos than in Tetris. To get an actual Tetris is quite hard. To get a Puyo Puyo combo is quite easy. So I found the balancing when you're playing as Tetris versus a Puyo Puyo, fucking horrible. Like, what is happening there? You know, there's people in Japan that have the game for years now, or have been playing this Puyo Puyo, who just fucking kill you. It's like murder. It's like they wrote your name in a fucking death note, and they're gonna kill you by playing the game. It's unbelievable. It's so unbalanced, and I don't understand. Maybe it's just me, guys. Maybe I just don't understand this Puyo Puyo, how it works. But Tetris works. Online, it didn't really crash. It did disconnect a few times because they were performing maintenance all night. However, I played it today. It's solid. This is another thing I want to point out. I took this to the park with my telephone. Like, what is this, 1994? My cell phone, and I made a Wi-Fi hotspot with it connected. I played online in the park on my Switch, on like a full-fledged system where I also could just jump into Mario Kart Deluxe and play online, which I did at the park as well. I love this system. I gotta be honest, I'm so in love with it. I've had such a great time with it. Now I have Tetris. It's just a huge, huge plus to the system. So I'm gonna give this game a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely not like a must-own if you're kind of like hemming and hawing, do I go out there and get this? I do have to say, if you have the Switch and you're really enjoying it in the way that I do, meaning that you have friends who are around you that want to play in front of you, it's a great experience for that. 4 players on the single screen can play, which is insanity, but it works. I've seen it happen. It works. The other aspect I gotta say about this game is the Puyo Puyo and the level of depth in all of the other sort of modes in this game is definitely there. And I know I didn't get into all of them, but there's quite a bit of them. There's like at least, you know, 12 different modes you can do. So and then you mix them up. It's insanity. So I hope this helped you out. If you liked what I did in this video, please subscribe. Hit the like button because it clearly does nothing, but do it anyways. And I'll see you in the next episode of JKB.